don't like ghosts. There, I said it. Now what? It's not like there's any way they can punish me that's worse than being bored, year in, year out. There's no such thing as ghosts. I wonder, how many children have been told that? Weird noises in the night. Oh, that's just the central heating. Light on, light off. It's just the electric. Temperature drops to below 0. It's probably the flu. Woman with no head at the end of your bed. Oh, you've just had a nightmare. Yada, yada, yada. I've heard it all. Do they ever wonder what it's like being a ghost? Nope. I bet they've never even thought about it. Never growing old sounds great. They should try living for centuries. It's not easy. Oh, a new lot are moving in. Oh, that's good. Looks like they've got 2 young ones. They're the best. No matter how many times they're told ghosts don't exist, to them, I'm as real as their parents. I even showed one how to put makeup on. She was cheeky though. I had to tell her that there was only so many times I could scare her mum by taking my head off and screaming at her. Just because she wasn't allowed to go to a sleepover on a school night. Kids,
Bloody Halloween. Gangs of kids dressed as ghosts, ghouls and witches hammering on your door. I don't like ghosts. I don't like Halloween for that matter. There's a bucket on the step, help yourselves. It can't be empty already. I'd best go and top it up before they... Too late. I haven't always been like this. When I was a kid, I went trick-or-treating with my mate Billy. He had a vampire's outfit. I had nothing. My mum refused to buy me one. It's begging, she said. Why don't you stay in and duck for apples instead? Me and apples? Sod that. So I sneaked upstairs, found an old white sheet, cut some eye holes in it, crept out the back door. Billy looked amazing in his vampire's outfit. I hovered behind, looking like the worst ghost ever. Why don't we try number 25, he said. Number 25? Freddy Krueger? That's what we called him. We didn't know his real name. He had a massive burn down one side of his face. His skin was all red and bubbly. He scared the shit out of me. Come on, said Billy, and strode up the path. I followed him, hanging back. Just as he was about to knock on the door, it was flung open, and Freddy stood there staring at us, his eyes ablaze. We laughed and ran, but as we reached the bottom of the garden path, my sheet slipped and I bumped into Billy. I couldn't see where I was going. He tripped and smashed his head into the garden wall. He was out cold. Freddy rushed to help. Leave him alone, I shouted. I can help, he said. I know first aid. I used to be a fireman. So that's how he got his burns. He was trying to help people. Freddy knelt by Billy had checked for his pulse and then ran into his house to dial 999. The ambulance was there in minutes, but it was too late. Billy was gone. So yeah, I don't like ghosts. Or Halloween. I must refer to people just duck for apples.
I don't like ghosts. To be fair, I'm not much of a fan of the living either. Hell is other people, especially when they turn up and knock at your door at Halloween. Trick or treat. More like extortion with menaces. The trick is definitely to keep the lights off. The treat is when they bugger off and leave me alone. As for the undead, I certainly don't need some random spook from the afterlife turning up with unresolved issues. I have enough problems of my own. Have you seen the price of electricity these days? And yet I do think there's a ghost in my house. Sometimes the air feels thick and icy, like it's holding its breath. And there's these weird creaking noises. My keys went missing last week and showed up in the fridge, like classic paranormal activity, wouldn't you say? Really rattled me. I called one of my friends who's into all that woo-woo stuff, and she walked in with her crystal stones and sage sticks. She took one look round and said, "You're not haunted. You're a mess." Apparently, the creaky noises were from my old pipes, the cold air from a draft in a window I'd been meaning to get fixed, and the refrigerated missing keys. Yeah, that was me. Memory like a sieve these days. And yet I can't shake the feeling that there might be something else hanging around. It's like a chill that's settled in my bones. People say they're just lost souls, echoes of the past. But it's not the ones we might see or hear that we need to worry about. It's the ones we don't. The quiet ones. The ones hiding in the shadows. Always watching. They don't slam doors or throw plates across rooms. They just watch. So no, I don't like ghosts. But you know something that unnerves me even more? I think one of them rather likes me.
I don't like ghosts. Never believed in them until that night. It was late, proper late, and I was sat here in the club. Whiskey in hand, firelight crackling. Ghosts last thing on my mind. I was second drink in when I heard a knock at the door. A little tap. At this time, I thought it must be one of the lads, forgotten a coat or something. So I get up and open the door. There's this bloke, pale, twitchy, dressed like a cross between a charity shop and a museum. He says, "Sorry to trouble you, but I think I've, died." Yeah, right, died. This has got to be a joke. So I said, Right, you've died. It was serious, deadly serious. At first time ghost, don't know what I'm doing. Thank you very much for opening the door, I can't do that anymore. I'm still waiting for the punchline. But it goes on, I was expecting a light or a tunnel, but instead I'm stuck here. I couldn't help it, so I asked, so you what? A novice ghost? He says, yes, it's harder than it looks. Well, at this point, I'm curious. Why not see where it goes? So we ask him, well, how do I help you move on? Well, Googling how to help a ghost move on was pretty useless. We tried. So I had him waving his arms like ghost yoga, chanting. Well, I chanted. He was just there hovering awkwardly. I even threw salt around. Nothing happened. I said, come on mate, you've got to give me something. No, nothing. Pathetic really. There's me, businessman turned part-time exorcist, trying to help this guy move on when he couldn't muster more than a cool breeze. By that time, we'd just about given up, and something changed. There's a coldness. Not like a window's open, this was deep, bone deep. Suddenly it went dark, and it was like the fire froze. He started panicking. What's happening? He cried, and I've got no idea. I mean, how do you help the dead? Suddenly, everything went black. I woke up next morning here, hoping that it was just a weird nightmare, a weird dream. But I knew that it wasn't. I felt it. And here's the kicker. I thought that I was doing something good. Nope. And now I feel it all the time. That coldness. And I can't open the door.
It was pretty much the first thing he said to me at the audition. I don't like ghosts. I thought, what? No ghosts? It's a bit like Christmas without Santa, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that if you had to make a list of 10 things related to Halloween, ghosts would be on it somewhere. And can you legitimately call it a haunted house if there are no ghosts? I mean, I'm no expert on the Trades Descriptions Act, obviously, but I'm dubious. He prefers gore, apparently. People with axes embedded in their skulls and that sort of thing. He says people find that scarier than someone in a sheet. Not very subtle, is it? And I'm pretty sure that it's the person wielding the axe that people should be scared of. Anyway, I didn't let on how sceptical and, let's be honest, offended I was by his no ghosts policy. I nodded as he outlined his vision, yes, he did use that word, for his haunted house Halloween escape room. You'd have thought he was casting Lear at Stratford rather than some pitiful diversion in a community centre in Weston-super-Mare. And yes, I know how much it says about my current career that I am auditioning for that sort of thing, but needs must. It wasn't always like this. I've worked with the best. I've been somebody in the business. I even had a small part with the RSC once. And yes, I realise that that was a very long time ago now, though, of course. Things didn't end well for me. Since the incident, I've been resting. I've been looking for acting work, and I've been trying to work out whether I could still have a career in the acting world despite my disadvantages. So, when I saw this part scaring people in a themed escape room, I thought, well, it'd be a start. And it really plays to my strengths. Oh, not something I was born to play, of course, but certainly something I could do now that I'm dead. But no ghosts, he says. Discriminatory practice, I call it. Wait till I finished with him. Then he really won't like ghosts.
I don't like ghosts! My sister screamed. Well then, I said, you shouldn't have opened the bleeding portal, should ya? It had been her idea to visit a haunted house on Halloween night of all nights. She thought it would be fun. It's not my idea of fun, believe me. I thought we could stay in with a nice bottle of wine, a truckload of chocolate, and a slasher movie, but no, she had to go one further. So off we went, me, my sister, and her 3 friends, who I'd never met, but they seemed nice, to an old abandoned house in the countryside. It belonged to an old woman who apparently had died there exactly 1 year before, called Enid. My sister decided to bring a Ouija board and started using it. I was reluctant, but I didn't want to seem like a party pooper. Anyway, as soon as she started asking questions, we heard noises from above. And things started moving around, and the lights on our torches suddenly went out. I mean, everybody freaked out, as you can imagine, and the friends scarpered, leaving just me and my sister. And we were in shock. And then we saw a light emerging from the corner of the room, hundreds of orbs whizzing past our heads. We looked at each other and ran out of the house. After we'd calmed down, I said to my sister that her friends who'd run away hadn't been very supportive. She looked baffled and said, "What friends? We came on our own." "Oh, bugger," I said. "We better get out of here, pronto." But my sister just stood staring at the house, screaming, "I don't like ghosts." "Well," I said, "you shouldn't have opened the bleeding portal then, should ya?" "Enid, is that you?"